Hey, Ervin here again. There's been an insane amount of leaks coming in for Helldivers 2 lately, to the point I think it might be on purpose that they left it all hanging out for us to see. People do find the info they're not supposed to have more exciting after all, and if so, that's pretty smart of them. Today though, we're going to be covering every single weapon that has been leaked to be coming to the game in the future. Keep in mind as we go through these, that the stat lines we see are both incomplete and subject to change. Let's get into it. First, I want to look at the weapon I'm most excited for. This is the AR-48 Truth Whisperer. As a stealth gameplay enthusiast, this suppressed Liberator, claiming to have the lowest sound profile of any weapon thus far in its description, is likely to find itself joining me in the pod extremely often. The stat lines they have thus far are definitely nothing impressive, however, except the potential of having next to no recoil, which I'm assuming the 0 is a placeholder. So, basically, unless you plan to become one with the shadows and stalk the night as the ghost of the creek, you'll want to bring in one of the other weapons on this list. Next, let's look at the weapon I'm the second most excited for. If you played the first game, you know this workhorse well. It is the AR-20L Justice, making a triumphant return to the battlefield. In Helldivers 1, this weapon was considered to be the go-to for many players, with its decent fire rate and medium armor penetration, as well as solid damage, which seems to all be returning in Helldivers 2. The downside is, compared to Helldivers 1, we seem to be missing the extended mag upgrade, only sporting a 20-rounder, as well as the bayonet, which was so satisfying. The recoil we see here is also very scary for an automatic weapon, set at a whole 50 points. But as I said, this is subject to change, so we'll have to see how this beautiful relic of the First Galactic War handles when it's released. Third weapon is going to be this new DMR-style weapon called the BR-14, claiming to be an accurate medium penetration rifle. We're led to believe the majority of these stats will change on release, as the description further says it is limited by its lackluster magazine size. However, as we can see here, it's sporting 25 rounds, which is strangely more than the AR Justice. Regardless of what the stats may be, this weapon will likely satisfy those who have been desperately wanting a medium pen variant of the Diligence, as it will likely handle much the same, if not better. Next weapon we're going to look at is the SG-8P Punisher Plasma. We only have the description to work with on this one, however the description and name tell us we can basically expect a higher damage shotgun variant of the Plasma Scorcher, which currently fires exploding projectiles that penetrate medium armor, and deal explosive damage to weak points. As for if this will be a slug or shell-loaded shotgun, only time will tell. Moving right along, we have this less than fantastic image of another returner from the First Galactic War. It's the LAS-10 Sickle. This weapon is basically a laser assault rifle. It fires in short bursts and builds heat quickly. But as it is a laser weapon, it never needs to be reloaded as long as it has time to cool off. This weapon was well liked in the original, and I'm excited to see how it performs in its return. Alright, now let's look at the CB9 Exploding Crossbow. A very interesting addition to our arsenal, as we definitely do not have the secondary weapon ammo to cover what is basically taking an additional support weapon as a primary. However, if these stats stay the same, it seems to be a 5-round exploding crossbow, which sounds very powerful, especially if this 150 damage is only the bolt itself, like the stat line on the Plas 1, which does not display the explosion damage in the formula. Only time will tell if this crossbow is beast or bin mode. Next we have the Ark2 Blitzer, apparently a wide radius shotgun that fires electricity at its enemies that arc between them like the arc thrower and the Tesla towers do currently. We have no stats to work with here, but we can assume that if you like how the arc thrower functions, and the ability to penetrate any armor in the game with your primary at least to some degree, you will likely enjoy the Ark2 Blitzer when it becomes available. Okay, number 8 is the R36 Upor, a bolt-action gyro weapon, think bolters from 40k, that fires shells which explode shrapnel in all directions on impact. With a medium penetration value, this weapon is basically doubling down on the Jar 5. As what we will likely get despite the stat lines here, a higher damage bolt action variant of how that weapon feels for comparison's sake, and not so dissimilar to a grenade launcher with a more direct line of fire. As I'm sure many perked up at the mere mention of the term bolt action, this weapon is likely to become the favorite of quite a few people. Right, that should do it for now. Pretty sure I covered all the guns we know about. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to comment, like, or subscribe so I know to keep covering new news and leaks as I hear about it. Thank you for watching till the end, and have a wonderful day. See ya!